Lost Pants, my boyfriend.
Hi everybody, what's up? Sir Spookfest here. Hi. I figured I'd read some more stories from Ghost to Ghost. And yeah, I put up a poll for my next investigation, and it does look like the random location. I'm not going to say where I'm going to go, but she'll know, the lovely wife. And yeah, that might be like within a week or two, depending on weather and what days I have to be able to do it. But my next live investigation will go to the beach and I'll do some meditation and see if we can get any weird lights to come in again, since I had a weird experience the last time. I've also been researching a lot about Bigfoots and the orbs in the sky, or UFOs, if you want to call them that. I'm not sure exactly what I caught the last time I was live out on the beach, but something. Um, I've also been researching some ancient civilizations, the Minoans. Really interesting on that one. Um, a lot of people point to Rome, but 2,000 years before Rome was the Minoan civilization. They had running water, flushing toilets, some stuff that I didn't really know too much about. And then I was looking at the Olmec civilization, which was before Aztec and Mayan civilization down in Mexico, South America. That stuff's really interesting, so I was thinking about doing something maybe on that. Maybe some conspiracy theories on giants. And since giants align with the Bigfoot and they're giant creatures, and then there's giants. So I'm going to do a bunch of stuff. I figured I'd just read a few more of these since we're almost through all the states. It's been a little while since I've done this. Um, the last one I left off on was the Candy Lady of Texas, which was an interesting one. And then I got the Alaskan Triangle here, which I've been looking into more triangles of weirdness since I grew up in Bridgewater Triangle, my favorite triangle of weirdness. I did find out about the Bennington Triangle. That Bennington Triangle in Vermont is right near Bridgewater Triangle. There are other triangles in that area that I didn't know about, but a lot of high strangeness. So, this one's the Alaskan Triangle. Location: the triangle points are Anchorage, Juneau, and Yurkuv. The Alaskan Triangle states answer to the Bermuda Triangle, stretches between Juneau and South Anchorage and the west of Uatuk. I can't say that name. I'm sure that's a native name. Uquadgiv? I can't say it. It was previously called Barrow in the north. The area gained notoriety in 1972 after Alaskan Congressman Nick Beckett, U.S. House Majority Leader Hale Boggs, and aide and pilot disappeared between Anchorage and Juneau. An intensive month-long search revealed no trace of the plane. The passengers of the Triangle had continued to claim planes, hikers, tourists, and residents. Over 16,000 people have vanished in the Triangle since 1988. Some claims, that's a lot of people, 16,000 since 88. Holy crap. Things before, some claim energy vortex or portals swallow things before transporting them to another dimensions. Others blame aliens or indigenous demons. Severe weather combined with vast open harsh wilderness, and more likely to blame animals or the harsh conditions. Anchorage, Alaska is largest city and marks one of the points of the famed Alaskan Triangle. Now, there was another triangle myth. It's in Alaska, Nome, Alaska, that 2,000 people go missing a year, and usually that's attributed to UFO abductions. And I do believe that is pretty true. Um, there is a movie, The Fourth Kind, pretty freaky movie if you haven't seen it. But that is based off some true stuff. Not a lot of it. It's all, exaggerated and stuff. But some of it is true. So, all right, we'll move on from Alaska to Oregon. Oh, there was one with this saying that people were, teleported or energy vortexes, there was a man on a mountain skiing. I don't know if it was Bennington Triangle or Bridgewater Triangle. There was a guy skiing, disappeared on the mountain, and ended up in California. And they actually found him in California with still his ski gear on and all this stuff. And he said he had no idea how he ended up there. I gotta look up that story again. But I heard somebody else talking about it on a live, so I figured I'd just talk about that for a second. I can't remember the guy's name, but it's a really interesting case. Alright, I'll do like 2 more of these. Oregon. This one's the Bandage Man. The Bandage Man is a terrifying figure that hunts highways 101 in Oregon. He always appears to be wrapped in blood-soaked bandages accompanied by horrible scent and rotten flesh. The most common version of the legend claims that he's a logger involved in a horrific accident in the 1930s. Paramedics wrapped him up in bandages and the ambulance got caught in a landslide. When the rescue crew arrived, the Bandage Man disappeared from the ambulance. Other variations claim that the firefighters or electricians, in one tale, he interrupted 2 teenagers making out in their parked car, thumbing the car's window, and disappeared abruptly. He has appeared other stories that claim he jumped into the back of an open-topped car or a truck bed, disappearing before the driver could reach the nearest town. He announced his presence with a rotting stench, often disappearing soon, and anyone noticing him then disappears. The Bandage Man has apparently eaten dogs and small animals, although some claimed he also ate people. Stories of the Bandage Man began in the 1950s and became common in the 1960s. People used the tale to prank each other. One theory suggests locals used the legend to scare tourists. Though the stories appear online in 2019, a Reddit user related seeing the Bandage Man standing beside her bed during a night, only realizing the terrifying figure's true identity after attending a local supernatural conference. That's a cool one in Oregon. Highway 101, Cannon Beach. That's really cool. Alright, yeah, I'll do 1 or 2 more. Yeah, I'll just do 1 more because Hawaii looks long. So I still got Colorado, Hawaii, California, but we'll do this Washington one. And then Washington, Maltby's 13 Steps to Hell. Maltby's 13 Steps to Hell, Washington. Location, Plain Woodinville. Woodinville, Washington. According to this legend, a wealthy local family had a magnificent tomb in Maltby Cemetery with a subterranean entrance accessed by 13 steps. No one knows if the doorway lay at the bottom of the steps or if it was blocked up by the tomb. The tomb may have been filled. Either way, the local youth who dare... Hold on, helicopter. Either way, the local youths dare each other to walk down the 13 steps at night. If you reached the bottom and turned around, you would see straight into hell, rather than the cemetery. Seeing the vision drove the person mad or crazy, and the witnesses claimed to see friends walk down the stairs, then faint when they turned around. Others say they'd heard the people never speaking again after coming back up the stairs. People still claim they have walked down the steps in the 1980s, usually feeling sick or faint before they reach the halfway point. The steps were filled in at some point during the 1980s or 90s. The urban legend continues since local kids venture to the cemetery with shovels at night hoping to find the steps again. So kids are trying to dig up some steps to do a silly little ritual. Alright, so the next one I'll do Hawaii, Colorado, and California. And I only got a few more states. But let's do a mythical meat. I haven't done this in a while either. Let's pick a good one. I don't want to eat that. Let's do Yeti, since I mentioned Bigfoot earlier. That was another thing I'm looking into, is the connections between different continents and before civilization actually had communication. How many of these guys were legend in different areas? So even in the United States, just here in Virginia, it's called a wood booger, and then Florida is a skunk ape. But then you go, Yeti over in the Himalayas, and there's names for these things all over the world that are connected. Same stories, just we didn't have communication between our countries. So how are we coming up with this story? It's the same thing with dragons or ghost stories or even UFO stories. So let's try some Yeti. This is beef with yak and Anadoli style snack stick yak. I've never had yak. 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 Yeti yak. Let's try it. Oh, Yeti good. I've had Bigfoot. Yeti's even better. It's really good. Here, try. Alright, guys and girls. I'll be back with another Skywatch. Next investigation I'll announce. Probably be one of my coolest investigations yet. Yeah, love you guys. Peace out. Have a good one. Try some Yeti.